Good morning, y'all. We got to follow up as always. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's getting their day rolling. What do we got today? I got some whack 100 to bring up. Some statements that he made in the past I wasn't aware of. Like this man definitely don't got picks. It seems. Who else we got? We got Big U. I want to bring up some more footage about Big U continuing to incriminate himself on the internet. Well, I shouldn't say continuing to, because he's obviously in custody right now. But I'm talking about as he's there, they continue to resurface some of his old footage and show us what he's been about, things that he said publicly already. It's wild because as he was already turning himself in, he had so much to say about the 100 show and other people, right? But just like everybody else, even though Big U, as an older man, he's got a lot of self incrimination on the internet. What else do we got? A little baby update. Some wiretap footage was played in court yesterday as it relates to this whole gang war, 4PF and another gang out of Georgia. Um, it's getting real heavy for little baby. It's not looking too good, but we'll see as that continues to develop. But yeah, we're gonna play that footage that an investigator brought in. What else do we got? Young Scooter. So Shorty that we covered yesterday, she was arrested for her BS 911 call. Some of us seen that coming, right? But I want to look into what she's now facing. And then Diddy. So a new lawsuit involving Diddy and some celebrity names got named, but is it too late? That will be the question. I think I'm gonna start there. Why not? Let's go with the last one that I said. Let's go with Diddy. Um, so this one came out yesterday, and we heard names such as LeBron James, Beyonce. You know what? I'll just let the video play for a moment, and then we'll get into details.
We promise you this is not an April Fool's joke, what you're about to hear. It is an actual lawsuit filed by an attorney in federal court about Diddy and an alleged freak off that went down in Miami in April 2015. So exactly 10 years ago. They say this was a party for Diddy's son, King Combs, but all the names involved here are huge.
Huge.
Talking Beyonce, Jay-Z, LeBron James. Now, all of those people are just witnesses, according to this lawsuit.
And strangely enough, Gloria Estefan.
Gloria
the
Estefan.
rhythm is going to get you, Gloria Estefan.
Yes.
And her husband, Emilio.
Yes. And now, again, all witnesses. Emilio is actually a defendant in this lawsuit, along with Diddy. But here is the story as told by a man named Joseph Manzaro in this lawsuit that we obtained this morning. He says that he showed up at this party, or woke up at this party and didn't understand how he got there, that he's insinuating clearly that he'd been drugged, but woke up and at one point saw Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan, and Gloria is saying,
I hate to say something this nasty, but like, as bugged out as it seems, how do you not know how you end up or why you are around some of the biggest names in the world? Right? Like, think about it. Think about it like this. Think about the groupies of the world. Think about the people that are aspiring artists or aspiring NBA players or aspiring actors. Imagine that sounds like a dream, right? Imagine one day you have these aspirations or you chase behind some of these people or you want to get next to some of them for business, and you wake up and it's like, oh wow, there's Gloria, Beyonce. Oh, Jay-Z's walking down the hall. Oh, Diddy's here too? Oh, shit. That's one of the best basketball players of all time. That's LeBron right there. But why am I here? Like, that shit sounds weird as fuck, right? Like, this is dream world shit, huh? Like, how about a little bit more context? I need more context for me. You already see which direction this shit is going, right? With this, I don't give a fuck about a spoiler for this fucking lawsuit right here. Fuck spoilers and trying to build up the drama. People, we see where we're heading with this one, right? You know what I want? The lawyer or whoever. Oh man, we got a second coming to Tony Busby, but hold on. How about some context? Like, I was at a basketball game, front row with LeBron. We walked after the game. We walked back into his locker room. He said, "Hey man, come hang out with me. I'm going to an after party." We get into the car, you know what I'm saying? He passes me a drink. Next thing you know, I fall asleep and then I wake up in this big room with all these celebrities. Give me some context like that. Don't just poof, wake up around $100 billion worth of people. Like, yo, give me the fucking context. Wait until this paperwork comes out. Oh, it might be out already. Now that I think about it, we might come back this afternoon if I can get my hands on it. I want to read this one. This might be. I wonder if this is going to be worse than the Macy. So the Jay-Z read, right? They said there was a another unnamed celebrity female in the room, and then Jay-Z was in the room with it. Whatever. We saw how that went, but that read was like what? Then what else? The Macy's one with Diddy. That was kind of like out there, right? He goes into the back stock room and he forces the man to give him neck and like it's just like all right. What was wait, no. The worst one was the one that had Jaguar right in it. That was in the paperwork. Remember we were reading that, and it's just like, wait, all this inserting and the remote control and all this what? And then you walked outside through the courtyard, and they're all out there in their robes, smoking and everything. And then you get put in the car, and that read was just like, what? You got some movie directors, I guess, that's writing these shits. You know what I'm saying? So what do we expect? All right, let's continue with this.
Hey, we need to get him medical help because he's too drugged up.
Get an ambulance. Get him out of here.
And according to Manzaro, Emilio steps in and says, "No, we're not doing that," and shoves Gloria out of the way. And then
get out of here, Gloria.
This guy
we're not doing it
from the Estefan's house to Diddy's home. Now this is on Star Island in Miami. They do actually live near each other.
Now we got Sicario details, y'all. We on underground tunnels now. Okay, he ends up in a tunnel. So he got these type of details. I remember Gloria getting pushed, and then after that, niggas walked me into the tunnel. Like you got these type. So was this the I'm paralyzed drug? Right? Or was this the I'm just waking up and I don't know where I am drug? Is there and are you going along with these motions? Like, how is all of this happening? Are you being carried? Are you in a wheelchair? Are you immobilized? Is your leg hurt? Like how is all of this taking place? And you're just going through this story, through these details. Tunnel, this person's arguing, this person's pushed. I wake up here, this room over here. Then they come in and how is this? Is there any fight? Is there any scuffle? Is there any run attempt? Details, lawyer. Yo, who be writing this shit? That's why I ain't gonna lie. That's why we could tell that Drake was involved in writing his shit, his defamation shit, because you could see some artistry in it. Like how he put bars in it, like how he tried to reference Lucian's old statement, right? And then rap lyrics is in there. And then the shit like opening up, and I don't want to make light of this, but the shooting and everything, it's painted as a scene. Like you can tell, and all bullshit aside, people, even decent lawyers, let alone good and expensively retained lawyers, all the way up through these powerhouses, they don't just make moves without their client. Now they'll work on your behalf, but when it's time to submit something, when it's time to put something across, when it's time for that next court, let's say step, they don't move without you are the client. So that be bullshit. Like academics, for example, will come on stream and he'll try to tell us like Drake's lawyers are just doing this on Drake's behalf. Oh no, Drake, you got to read that, or you got to clean that up, or he's not aware. I could tell that Drake's not. It doesn't happen like that. And academics knows that because academics is in the midst of a lawsuit as well right now. You know, it doesn't happen like that. What happens is it's time for this next step. This is the write-up. These are the details. This is what's going on. We both proofread it. Hey, Drake. Hey, Drake, read this. What do you think about this? He goes over it. Okay, we're talking about the shooting incident. We're talking about Not Like Us. We're talking about Spotify and iHeartRadio here. Boom, 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 boom. Or bare minimum, he has somebody, a helper that reads. If it's too long of a read for Drake. But if you're going after $400, $500, $600 million, I'm sorry, but there's a level of involvement that these people have. It's their responsibility to make sure what's going into fucking court, because the lawyers are just going to get paid regardless. You're the one that's going to fucking hang. My lawyers, every move that they fucking make, I get it first. I redline it, or I say, what if I question things? What about this? This needs to be changed to this because this right here, I need to add more context there. Nothing goes out without me. They may draft something, but nothing goes out without me. So don't fucking try to tell me that some lawyer, and if a lawyer is just coming around and putting together this Star Island fucking story, then what type of lawyer is it and what type of story is it then? It's somebody that puts up the 1-800 number and just says, don't worry about it. You just go back to your regular job and I'll call you in a week. I got this. We're going to figure out how to get this check out of Diddy. Which one is it? Fuck out of here. Who y'all talking to?
So that part of it is, that's a fact that anybody can find.
Sure.
But what happened once he got into this party at Diddy's house is outrageous. And I know we're supposed to take every lawsuit seriously because we don't know. We weren't there.
At this point, we're not.
The Gloria Estefan part. That's just the start. How Beyonce gets involved. So listen to this. He says that at one point he's being walked around the party and he looks up and sees Beyonce and she says, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this?"
Okay, I asked the question earlier. We have our answer now. He's being walked around. Okay, walking. He's mobile. Okay, all right, cool. Let's continue.
This half-naked white man with a blank mask, another word for penis, mask, standing here in front of me.
Yeah, apparently they put on him a penis mask on his head. So he's wearing almost no clothes, according to his lawsuit, and a penis mask. And that was a jarring sight for people.
And LeBron James also saw him.
Before I get to Bron, so he's walking around half naked. They put a literal dick head on him as a mask, and they're walking around this party. Do you understand that for this type of stuff to be true, the level of you guys are fucking weirded out past what we've ever known as, the level of what these celebrities would have to be, right? You know how beloved the Beyoncés of the world are, LeBron James. These are people that have walked on fucking roses their whole career. Imagine finding out that they like to go to parties where half-naked random strangers are sprinkled into the crowd walking around with dickhead masks. Like just to go to that. Fuck them. Any of us. If I pop up at a party right now, if you know what, you can't use a club. Well, then again, some clubs might fucking do that, right? If I go to a regular hip hop club, there we go. All right. If I go to, you know what, I can make it even better. If I go to a strip club, and I ain't in a strip club, but if I go to a strip club, I expect to see sexually provocative imagery. Okay. Right. I expect to see half naked women. Right. But if I happen to roll into a strip club, and there's people sprinkled in the crowd that's walking around with dickhead masks and all this, I'm changing my strip club. This strip club ain't for me. If I go to a house party, a private house party, and I'm looking around, first of all, how about protecting my $1 billion? I'm LeBron James. Oh, wait a minute. Imagine me getting caught on camera and this shit. You see how fucking, you see how media trained LeBron James is? LeBron James, like, he be knowing what to say, when to say. I'm not saying the man is perfect, but imagine being one of the biggest household names in fucking sports and celebrity history. Global. Not your hood, not your block, not your city, not your state, not your country, not your hemisphere. Global. One of the biggest names ever. Right? The man stays clean for a reason. Drake and academics tried to muddy him up, but that's a different story. The man has stayed this clean because part of it is really him. You got to give a man some credit. And he knows how to fucking move. He's trained into this. The tattoo chosen one, he was groomed for this shit since a kid. You are going to be that. That's why his mom's bought him a fucking Hummer before he made it to the league. Don't worry about that. Put that on the credit card because I'm about to get that back. Are you kidding me? And he then all of a sudden loses all of his media training, all his sense. He's going to jeopardize his billionaire status, and he's walking around parties like this. And let alone, I didn't even get in my little rant mode when you're going to talk about the same person was walked around and confronted Beyonce, and Beyonce says, "Hey, what's this? Get this out of here." All these people if I'm walking out of that strip club, they're walking out of this party, and they got way more to lose than I do. Get the fuck out of here, B. Yo, you ever look at, it's happened to me in battle rap a million times. You ever look at somebody and say, because of the spot that you're in, I assume you're a very smart person. And then they do some dickhead shit and you just be like, oh shit, you actually stupid as fuck. Stupid as fuck. I used to do that with a lot of battle rappers. I used to say the level of artistry that you guys present, you guys got to be little geniuses. And then I would watch how they move business wise, how they would move personally, how they would move at an integrity or a man or a woman level, how they would move based on responsibility. And I'm like, oh, you guys are fucking dickheads. You guys are idiots. Oh, that's why you're broke. Oh, now I get it. I understand now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, now transfer that to these lawyers. You look at some of these lawyers and you be like, okay, you worked hard, you passed the bar, you're a lawyer now. We come up, our parents teaching us, be a doctor, be a veterinarian, be a lawyer, right? Shit like that. So you look at a lawyer, and I guess we're just taught to say like, yo, lawyers automatically mean that you're smart. And then we bump into a Tony Busby, or we bump into somebody that writes this shit. And you allow somebody like me to come up here and dissect this little stupid. That's why I need the paperwork. I can't wait to read the fucking paperwork. The breakdown that's here in the summary is already disgusting to me, but the paperwork, I want to read what the lawyer actually sat down, premeditated, and crafted word for word, and had the nerve to walk that into court and say, here you go. We got something on Diddy. We did the underground tunnel. We did the waking up with the dickhead mask. Oh yeah, here goes Beyonce. We had a quick conversation over here with LeBron. Oh my God, I need to read this. I need to read this. Another genius lawyer, it seems.
At one point and said, "Y'all better do something about that." It goes on. There's more.
LeBron said, what?
One hell of a story.
Yeah, look, this is one of the most shocking lawsuits I've read. If this had been the first Diddy lawsuit, our jaws would be on the floor. But there's a quality to it that sounds like almost a screenplay being written, because he says he was lapsing sort of in and out of consciousness, and he's hearing voices of celebrities throughout this lawsuit. There's obviously the mask that he said.
I'm in and out of consciousness. I got this mask on. I'm being walked around. I'm in and out. And who are you to be walked around? Who the fuck are you? Is this going to be a John Doe in the paperwork? Who are you to be walked around and then just put in front of all these big celebrities? Like, hey, look, dickhead guy, mask guy. Like, who the fuck are you? And meanwhile, you're in and out of consciousness. You're in and out. You're in and out. You're in and out. You're in and out. You wake up at this moment when Beyonce's in front of you, and then you're out again. And you wake up right here, it's LeBron, and then you know exactly what LeBron said in the paperwork, and then you're out again. You wake up again, and then you saw Gloria get pushed, and then you're out again. This nigga's over here playing peekaboo, B. Y'all is serious. Y'all is serious, huh?
Says he was wearing and being degraded and humiliated. There's also a bit of a Mad Libs quality of the other defendants.
Oh, there it is. Hold on. That's a piece of the money right there. Degraded and humiliated. That's one right there. I was degraded. 4 billion. Gotcha. Okay.
There's people who have sued Diddy before. A woman named Audra English is a defendant in this lawsuit. She's been a plaintiff in another lawsuit against Diddy. So it's hard to make heads or tails of this if this is just so.
Okay, wait. So similar plaintiffs, different lawsuits, different scenarios. Let's say hypothetically there's a little bit of truth in either one of the different lawsuits. This would be the person that stays around and says, damn, this fire is hot as shit, but I'm gonna keep hanging around it, huh? Okay. The word opportunist is so easy of an angle to go after for Diddy's defense here. The man gets charged with this Cassie stuff and the sex trafficking, and here he is under this federal RICO indictment, and here all y'all come after the billionaire. Y'all taint and water down this fucking RICO to the point where, hold on, I'll save that.
Late in the game that it's someone who is very familiar with the people and the players in Diddy's life that they could put together a lawsuit,
or if it's something that
happened,
or if it's something that happened and all. And the reason that you recognize the names is they are people
who were really in Diddy's circle.
Who were in Diddy's circle. It also mentions a guy named Brendan Paul, who you recall when the raids went down, was arrested by the authorities and charged as basically allegedly being a drug mule for Diddy. He is mentioned in this lawsuit as well, and is actually one of the defendants. So
I will say one of the good things about a lawsuit like this is there's a lot of potential witnesses, and they'd have to all be on the same page and all lying about the same thing. It's harder to do than sort of lawsuits that are built around a private setting where it's he said, she said. This would the guy says it happened at a party, so there would presumably be people who could verify it or say it didn't happen.
Yeah, and that's.
Oh, we see what happened in Jay-Z's case with that. They started naming celebrities that came around and said, don't try to put me in your stupid shit. I was booked at a concert all the way over here. Let's see if that was already happening in this one. This is why I say you look at a lawyer, you say, oh, you're smart because you're a lawyer. The answer is not always true.
One of the problems, you're right, when you mention all those people, they may all have alibis.
Well, Jay-Z certainly seems to have one.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z has mentioned that he's there with Beyonce, but we know that Jay-Z was in New York.
Yes.
The night that it was supposed to be. Now,
the night of King Combs of his birthday, which happens to be April 1st. Happy birthday.
Is it possible that he got on a private jet afterwards in New York and flew down there? Possible.
Yeah, I don't know. LeBron James, I don't know. Look, he was playing for the Cavaliers at that point.
Yeah.
Though I did look on the schedule from 2015. The Cavs were playing the Miami Heat. So on April 2nd, so maybe he would have been. Look, this is
okay. And you know what it's like though. It's like imagine a fucking civil suit comes out about me. ARP, he drugged me. He walked me around his underground tunnel in his crib, and then I looked around the corner and there was ill will. And then I went back to sleep, and then in the next room I saw a Big K, and then upstairs, you know, a hitman was there. And I know some of my niggas might look at this shit like, don't even put me in your hypotheticals, right? and you get to the kitchen, and Rosenberg roars in the fucking fridge. His show off is practicing his dance moves in the living room or something. What all this stupid shit. You say all of this, and then you're telling the story like, when did this happen? Yeah, it happened 6:15 on a Tuesday. And then everybody goes and looks up the date and be like, he was live streaming at that exact time. We were just sitting here on camera watching him talk about young Scooter. Like, are you sure that's when it happened? Like real shit. Like these people just throw out even these dates. And then these motherfuckers, you're dealing with people in all seriousness. When you talk about an alibi, right? Even me, I move around enough, right? Now, let's say I really, really am involved in doing some shit. I can, if I was breaking laws, right? It wouldn't be tough for me to come up with decent alibis simply because I move around. I only said that to make this point. Now you're dealing with a whole different caliber of movement. You're dealing with the type of people that can justify, I'm in this country on a Monday and I'm in this country on a Tuesday. Like me, if I'm in a different country, I'm there for a little bit. Like it's like a vacation or some shit. You have people that switch states and switch countries just to do a face-to-face conversation for a couple minutes and then get the fuck on. Real shit. Like that's the caliber of people that you're putting in your lawsuit. Okay. So I'm not trying to say that that's another uphill battle to fight when you got these people's alibis, right? But on the flip side, if you're throwing these names into this I'm walking around in and out of consciousness party scene that you're painting in your paperwork, right? Keep in mind that all the more these motherfuckers you put in your paperwork thinking that you're casting the net, the more these people that you're going to have to actually factually place there. And these are the people that move around crazy. Okay, I get it. It's a party. So that's a time more so that everybody stop and congregate. But we saw even in the Jay-Z and the Diddy shit, right? Even on that one, there was movement. Wait, you said that there was at this house with the U-shaped driveway. We got pictures of Jay-Z over here at this party over here. You go from Radio Music Hall to this place, to this place, to this place. Witnesses here, pictures there, dates and car drivers over there. You see what I'm saying? So, like, what is a lawyer thinking when he casts these type of nets? You know what I want to learn more as we follow stories like this? I want to learn more about the penalties of bad cases, frivolous lawsuits coming in, not from the plaintiffs, but from the legal representation, like the counsel or the lawyers, right? So we could see like a Tony Busby saying like you wasn't really supposed to be practicing in New York. Like, okay, cool. And they follow certain guidelines, of course, so they don't lose their fucking their license, their license to practice. But I'm talking about a super frivolous nature because if I'm a defendant and you put a frivolous lawsuit on me, you may get countersued to death. You might, right? But I'm gonna be countersuing the defendant. What's the exposure of these lawyers that craft this book? I'm curious of that. I'm curious of that shit.
These are all allegations, very wild allegations laid out in this lawsuit. As Derek said, there are elements of it that sound like some of the other lawsuits, but we have not heard a response back from Diddy at this point.
Well, no, Diddy's attorneys said that not credible at all. This complaint demonstrates the depraved lengths plaintiffs will travel to garner headlines in pursuit of a payday. No sane person reading this complaint could credit this story. It goes on to say basically that he's looking forward to his day in court when he's going to get to prove all this wrong, which is something that we hear over and over again for all of these lawsuits.
That's what I was looking to get to. Okay. And that's the last piece there. The opportunity to now pick at Diddy because he's sitting there, and everybody in my chat, y'all, everybody over here, y'all know I don't fuck with Diddy, right? Y'all just know I'm a fair person, and I won't lie to myself. I won't do the whole I hate you, so I'm just gonna go with this narrative. It's not me, right? I don't fuck with Diddy behind all of this shit. I haven't fucked with him since I seen the Cassie video, and some of these allegations, I feel like he's got a history of fuck shit. I wouldn't hang out with him. I wouldn't shake his hand. I wouldn't want to do business with him. Even on just the business side, he has a bad reputation. You know, like I said plenty of times, you don't get to some of these billionaire levels without having some wild dirt on you and fucking a bunch of people over. You know, I personally want to be around the man, right? But when you talk about this freako that was put on him, the court of public perception and opinion has been so watered down about this man. By the time we got to the 1,000 bottles of baby oil thing, it could have stopped there as far as like the whole world being against him. You know what I'm saying? Like it could have stopped there because everybody just was already just eating it all up. Like, oh, yo, he's a freak. He's wild. And then, but all this stuff coming out now makes people go double back and just like, all right, well, I wouldn't have 1,000 bottles of baby oil, but is it a crime? We literally got to the point. Think about it. At that point last year, people were saying, yo, the baby oil is probably laced with drugs, allegedly. And that's how people are getting drugged at these freak offs, right? We got to that point. But then we started seeing too much. You can overdo it. You could overshoot your mark. You don't need, once you get to that place, and I'm not trying to say this is the government fucking it up. Some of it is what they're pushing, but the lawsuits and some of these lawyers and the 1-800 numbers that come out, it taints the water so much. Diddy's fucking defense is gonna use all of this shit. They're gonna say, you saw this case over here with Jay that got thrown out, right? You saw this one over here, right, with this guy with the dickhead fucking mask walking around, and we already proved that LeBron was here, Beyonce was there, Gloria was over there, Jay's, like, they're gonna shred it. And it's not necessarily his charges, because this is civil shit versus his RICO federal shit, but this is what you use still. Why wouldn't you? How couldn't you? Because all of this shit that's being put on them, it looks like money grabs. Now, I get it. It's your opportunity to come out the woodworks and everybody try to get a fucking payday. That's the fucking world that we're in right now. Lawsuits is a job. I need to get me a dash cam. Yeah, I'm gonna get me a dash cam this weekend or order one today. But anyway, lawsuits is a fucking job. It's disgusting. And these motherfuckers are tainting the Diddy case, if you ask me. I'm not trying to say that he's guilty of the federal shit. I don't know. Some of that shit is just like, well, the Cassie shit is she's gonna probably be on that fucking stand. You know what I'm saying? He's not a good dude to me. I don't think he's a clean person at all. We've seen the fucking video. That's enough for most real men to watch that video of a man doing that to a woman. That's enough for a bunch of real men. Okay. And then you just add on all the other shit that he's shown us to be about. And it's just like, you're not a good person. And that's fine. You stay over there in your circles and certain people will stay away from you. But that's not what he's on trial for. It's not on trial for, did he fuck over Sean? You know what I'm saying? Did he fuck over the band or the Locks? He's not on trial for that shit. All right. Should I change my 50-50? I've been saying for about a week or two, like my prediction is 50-50 he gets off. Should I change it to like, so I start to move the needle a little bit? I might be at 55-45. I might. 55 being that he gets off. I might just move the needle a little bit. Like he's gaining ground. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. All right. Let's jump to Lil Baby, man. So some more stuff came out yesterday. It's no pleasure to say I like Lil Baby, man, but what do we got here? This came out of the court once again. All right. Investigator Viverito is on the stand. We are listening to wiretapped calls. Someone mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets on some people's heads. Defense is questioning investigator Viverito. A heated discussion about gang association and membership determination between Addy and Viverito. Judge Hughes had to intervene. We're going to hear more about this Viverito person. I think, is she the person that Young Thug posted? Of course, Young Thug probably doesn't like anybody from the judicial court side of Georgia or Fulton County, right? So, you know, no, we're not going to follow Young Thug in the midst of this and use what he says. You know, we're going to follow what comes out of court, what comes out of the, you know, places of credibility. And I'm not trying to say that Young Thug is incredible, but Young Thug has a bias. And let me say this real quick with all due respect to Young Thug, similar to his post about allegedly Young Scooter being shot. Let me say this with all due respect to Young Thug. I understand that he has a big fan base and he's some of y'all heroes, right? Whoever just jumps out the window for a Young Thug statement, right? You have to look in the mirror. You have to really ask yourself, do I think that Young Thug is an angel? Do I think that Young Thug was 1000% clear of why they had him sitting down? Now, he sat down like a man, kept his mouth shut. He faced his day in court, right? And that's he got things to work out well for him where he took a guilty plea, where he was able to now walk off the rest of his situation outside instead of from behind bars. And we salute him for that. And you get your day in court. If it goes your way, we salute you because it could have gone the other way. And he took it on the chin like a man. Okay. So I'm not mad at that at all. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think any of us, when you look at like the Lil Wayne situation or the tour bus situation, or the Big Nut situation, or the involvement with Woody and all these things that was going on, I don't think that y'all think that Young Thug is an angel. I don't think that y'all think that. Okay. So when Young Thug starts tweeting on behalf of his friend Wham, don't jump out the window like an idiot. It's expected for him to feel a way towards the judicial system of Atlanta or Fulton County, as well as sticking up for his boy Wham. I'm removing him. That's not a credible source to me for Young Thug to come out and say these tapes are fake, because I'm not going to be listening to Young Thug. To me, it's like that classic Dave Chappelle skit. The planes hit the fucking buildings. And where's Ja Rule? We want to hear from you. Who the fuck cares about Ja Rule? You better give me the president, the secretary of defense, some shit like that. I'll listen to them maybe. And they're tainted too. I can't fucking trust them neither. I don't trust the president with what comes out of their mouth. It's like a pastor. They might lock the fucking door and shoot for 40 grand. In summary, can't trust nobody, whether you're a pastor or you're Young Thug. Right? Why did I put those two together? All right, let's get back to this real shit. Let's get serious.
Suspects charged in the 2024 murders of 13-year-old Lamont Freeman and his friend 13-year-old Jacody Davis took their seats inside a Fulton County courtroom for day 3 of a preliminary hearing, which will determine if there's sufficient evidence for the men to stand trial.
So I think that we are ready to begin.
An APD detective who asked us not to show her face because she's involved in undercover investigations took the stand for more than 2 hours. She testified that investigators used social media posts and wiretaps to determine that the 7 defendants are members or associates of the Goodfellas criminal street gang. Police say the shooting stemmed from a gang war sparked by rapper Lil Baby, who they claim is affiliated with the rival criminal street gang 4PF. Last May, police say the hip-hop superstar filmed a music video in their territory and multiple people were shot, which investigators say sparked a gang war. The attorney for Lil Baby called those claims complete and total nonsense and added that his client had absolutely nothing to do with those shootings. During cross-examination today, defense attorney Brian Tevis criticized the investigation and claimed that investigators did not have any evidence that proves his client was involved or even in a gang.
I've been photographed with Chief Justice John Roberts. Am I a member of the Supreme Court?
The suspects charged in the 2024 murders of 13-year-old Lamont Freeman and his friend 13-year-old Jacody Davis took their seats inside a Fulton County courtroom for day 3 of a preliminary hearing, which will determine if there's sufficient evidence for the men to stand trial.
So I think that we are ready to begin.
An APD detective who asked us.
So, I mean, that should have been obvious. We said that prior, that when stuff like that initially came out, Lil Baby should have went and lawyered up. And he did. He did. His lawyer's already speaking on his behalf. But the position that his lawyer has taken is that my client could have had nothing to do or has nothing to do with those shootings or involvement with those little kids or some of these gang shootings or whatever the case may be. But what just comes out now about these videos is a different story, right? It's a different problem. And that's what happens until like you're actually indicted and like you get your discovery and like all the stuff that Diddy is going to fight, we haven't seen yet. All the stuff that Little Dirk is going to fight, we haven't seen yet. I don't think we have. You know what I'm saying? There's still witnesses and all. Like, let's say, for example, in Big U situation, right? We played a video yesterday of allegedly who the internet is putting together saying is victim one. What if he takes the stand and gets up there and starts talking about a whole bunch of shit that's not in the paperwork, right? What if new people come forward? What if new information comes forward, right? Like we see these courts collide and these lawyers collide based on evidence coming in and it's too late. And so I'm saying that to say your attorney is doing what he's supposed to do. He's saying my client got nothing to do with these shootings. But what hits the internet yesterday is, oh, wait, there's another conversation now. What's up with this audio about putting money on people's heads, allegedly from Lil Baby, right? Now the lawyer got to defend that. There's more stuff. Like, so I don't think that this was just about the video shoot. We've learned that already, people. It's not just the video shoot. And then saying you shot this video at this location that's known ops territory. We believe that you did that to be petty or to spite your ops. And then it led to all these other shootings, which is why there's even footage of a shooting happening at your video shoot, right? It's not just that, right? And then remember, when things go dormant or go quiet behind the scenes, God knows how much is continuing or already was happening before we were fucking brought into the loop. Could have been years, could have been 2 years investigation, right? So it's not just baked around the video shoot. They're going to start tying Lil Baby and we all see it coming. We're not praying for it. We're not wishing for it, but we all see it coming a mile away, right? They're going to paint him as the multi-million-dollar rapper who in many times we see is looked at as the boss, the top guy. Like, okay, you got OTF Diddy and all these guys down here and running around, but who's the top person? They're going to say Little Dirk. All right, cool. You got Skinny Me and over here, and you got Dark Low over there doing witness intimidation. But who's the top guy they're going to say? We're going to say it's AR Ab, the biggest rapper in the collective, the most vocal, that looks like the shot caller in the collective. You see what I'm saying? And how do we not see that coming? That's what they're doing right now to Lil Baby. It's just building up. You are the top dog. You are the Gotti of the group of the 4PF. I don't give a fuck if you change the name. It's too late. We was on you 2 years ago, right? And the putting money and financing and putting the guns in the street. How many times do we have to see it? That's why I'm getting frustrated. How many fucking times do we need to see it? Like that's what they on. That's what they on. It's just the indictment hasn't come down yet, and I'm not praying for it. This one right here was the tickets on niggas' heads, I believe.
Oh, what's up? Oh, man, like, come on, bro. You know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can? You know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Them got tickets on a lot of these folks. I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people, we know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by, what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harmed.
Have them arrested.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the
That was a
call?
good one.
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones had wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
Oh, what's up?
So, Pete, this name, Investigator Viverito, her name is going to continue to move around. We're going to see her more and more. I already know that. But she was the one that was just in court as the investigator. And she's pulling up these wiretaps, right? And she's leading the court here with, in regards to even some of these current defendants right here. But they're still relating some of this stuff right back to other people, bigger people, i.e. a Lil Baby, right? And they even called him by his government, his first and last name, instead of calling him Lil Baby there. He's been under investigation for a minute, it seems. And just like Little Dirk, he felt it coming, which is why he switched the name of 4PF and all that type of shit, right? Changed the way he was rapping, changed some of the content. Some people criticize him for it. They want to hear that gangster shit and say, what happened? This is probably what happened. He probably was just like, wait a minute, all this shit going on in the hood. My homie over here was just grabbed. My homie over here was arrested. These people over here going on. I don't know who tell, boom, 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 boom. He stopped rapping that shit. And everybody's just like, yo, why is your music different? We didn't know. We might know now, but I want to say this in closing of the Lil Baby shit. Nothing new that we haven't said on this stream before. The talking in code thing is another thing that's starting to fucking kill me. Okay? Like you see the courts will even be sarcastic. He wasn't stupid in that moment. He was being sarcastic. He said, tickets. What does that mean? That they're going to try to arrest them? That's a lob. That's an alley-oop. That's a lead-in. That's all he was doing. And then let the investigator come back with a response of like, no. Something much worse. A murder or to harm somebody. That's all that was. It was an alley-oop to each other. They're playing volleyball in court in front of the judge and the jury, right? The fucking talking in code. People swear they're doing it. These tickets on homie. And some of these people that work in these courts, they talk just like us. They talk just like me. You could hear the slang and you could hear where they're from and just their normal dialect. They talk just like us. You know what I'm saying? Like, how about this? Some of y'all might look at me and say, I could see ARP in a lot of different jobs. Maybe he's a little intelligent. His brain works a little bit. What if I told y'all I'm choosing a different career? Fuck this podcast and shit. And you know what I'm doing now? I want to go work for the special gang unit task force. And you want to know what my job is to do? Is to look into hip hop and figure out lyrics and figure out things that's going on and read the internet and watch the social media post. This is a real job, people. This is a real job. Watch people posting on social media, see what goes around, ear to the streets, rumors and everything. Do you think I could bring some solid, I don't got to say strong. Do you think I could bring some solid cases on some of these rappers? Imagine they gave me an easy one for my first case to warm up. Imagine they gave me AR Ab. They say, ARP, here's your job. We'll give you a budget. And I don't know, for the next 2 years, let's see if you can build an indictment on AR Ab. You think I'd do a decent job on that? Right? Even for the stuff that when he's talking in code, how do you think I'd do it? That you think he would throw me off when he says things like a ticket? You think I would be thrown off? All right, let's use somebody a little bit better. Let's use somebody a little bit smarter. Let's not AR Ab, who's up there talking about I extort niggas. Like, all right, not him. Let me use a better code. How about let's just use a recent one? Let's use the No Jumper podcast, right? When Adam 22, who has a pretty solid level of intellect as well, he's smarter than he acts like an idiot, like an asshole. But Adam 22 is smart. Trust me, he's pretty smart. Whack 100 is kind of sharp, right? So when him and they're up there with Lush and they're talking about the call that Drake made, he said, yeah, he was trying to figure out, if he needed to go stand online at Lids and order a new hat. Do you think that I would be able to decipher that? Or do you think that I would really be my mind would go to the mall and I'd just be like, oh, so Drake was shopping at Lids, huh? Code, you know how they say the streets are done? Talking in code is done. It's done. Chat, my chat. Sorry Shoe Podcast. People that rock over here, that catch a gem or a jewel or two, even if you're not into crime, right? Don't tweet, text, DM, or say nothing on no calls that you feel like can incriminate you, even if you feel like you're talking in code. There is no code, right? Because even if you think you are coding your shit, they will pull you in for it. They will give their interpretation of what they think that you mean. And God forbid you actually meant something else. They're not going to be in there and say like, oh, he really meant he was shopping for hats. And vice versa. If they turn around and say, we think this is a hit, and you was really talking about a shopping spree in the mall, what you think they're going to go with? They're going to say, no. We already got you sitting here under this indictment. We standing on, we believe this was a hit. And you're going to be sitting there like, what the fuck? I really was shopping on that DM. And they're going to be like, too late, too bad. We don't believe you. You need more fucking people. There's no code. There's no code. There's no more code. Code, there's no such thing. Okay, you want to use code to decipher around your friends or family, or if you're in a room with some older folks, or around some kids you don't want to understand you, or some shit like that, right? Don't think that you're using code to evade authorities. That's a fucking myth, people. Okay. Scooter, she was arrested. And I said on last night's stream, she deserved to be. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to even try to fucking gloss that over.
News in Atlanta, police say the 911 call that led to the death of rapper Young Scooter was a lie. Police arrested the woman who made that 911 call earlier tonight.
Fox 5's Tom Haynes joins us with the details. Tom, what are we finding out?
Well, startling development considering the context of that call, Courtney and Russ. Atlanta police officers say that took the 31-year-old Demetria Spence into custody within the last few hours. Investigators now say that 911 call led to the death of 39-year-old rapper Young Scooter. This all started Friday. And
is this for me? KX, since you remember, I'll have some fun with it real quick and we'll get back into Scooter. What if I said if 10 cents is on the floor, you got to pick it up? I'm going to say if I work for the gang unit, that's a hit. 10 cents is on the floor. All right, it's not $10, right? And 10 grand is on the floor, right? Nobody's talking about $10. Nobody's talking about cents. People don't even deal in cents anymore, especially with all the digital payments like Cash App and all this type of shit, right? There is no change. People don't deal in change, right? That's 10,000. Okay. Cents on the floor. Okay. That means available. It's on the floor. It's available. Okay. You got to pick it up. Okay. I either got to come retrieve it, right? For some reason, you can't send it to me. So we're talking about cash, right? If it's on the floor and I got to come pick it up, you can't send it to me for some reason. You can't wire it to me. You can't Cash App it to me. You can't Zelle it to me. For some reason, we want to keep this off record. We want to keep this off the books. We want to keep this untraceable. We don't even want the IRS to know about this. Now, you want to know what? Then now you got the IRS coming in for charges as well, because this is unreported $10,000. So already I got like 3 charges on you. Okay. Now, if I want this to be about a hit, depending on what I'm investigating you for, I'm going to start tying that into that. Unless I'm going to say this, I could be a dickhead and say, this means, divide down 50 Cent, go kill 50 Cent. Turn that nigga to 10. Like there's a bunch of stupid shit that I'm going to just fucking put on the table based on what I'm investigating you for. If you're into it with 50 Cent, I'm going to assume that this 10 cent is a metaphor. But even the picking the money up, why can't you just send it to me? I do all legitimate fucking business, people. If I owe somebody $10,000, Zelle. You know how many times I pay somebody $10,000 or more? Zelle. PayPal. Cash App don't send that much, but go ask some of the battle rappers. PayPal, I owe you money. Here you go. Boom. There you go. So attract. PayPal reports it to the IRS. They get 1099 up or whatever. IRS looks at me and says, "You're gonna pay us for all these transactions," and I say, "Yes, sir. Here you go." Get the fuck out of here, B. You gonna sit down fucking with me? All right, you fuck with me with a text message or a DM like this, and I'm working for the Special Forces gang unit. Yeah, your ass is sitting down. Ted says, "Come pick it up." Why you ain't Zell? Imagine me putting you on the fucking stand and say, "Why didn't you Zell it?" I don't have Zell. Okay. Why don't you PayPal it? I don't got PayPal. Why don't you Cash App it in pieces? I don't got Cash App. Do you have any digital form? I'd like to see your records. Do you have a bank account? Do you have a debit account? Oh, so you do? Oh, you don't. So you only deal in cash. What else do you deal with cash? If I don't get you for nothing else, I'm getting your ass on fucking tax evasion. If I don't get you for nothing else, $10,000, 10 cents, because nobody's coming to pick up 10 cents. I want you to explain this to me, and I'm going to fucking pick the holes out of it while you're talking around it. You and your lawyer better figure out a good way to fucking tell me what this shit means that makes sense, and you won't be able to. Your lawyer's going to bullshit me, and the jury's going to be looking at you like, yeah, right. Real shit.
Southeast Atlanta, where investigators say Spence told 911 operators there was something seriously wrong at a home on William Nye Drive.
Everything.
In audio obtained by Fox 5, Spence claims a woman with a child was bleeding and shots were fired.
I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her, and it's a child involved. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl.
Why y'all fucking with me? Nah, Jay, you're gonna get off with that. If all I got on you is a DM that says what you doing, wait, what's the charges? Infidelity? What's the charges? What am I investigating you for? Are you running a sex trafficking ring? So maybe you send a WID to this person over here because you wanted to know if this woman was free. And so you could skip it to a different address to pick up a different bag from a different John. That's not John Doe. That's not a real name John. I'm talking about John as a trick or as somebody that hires prostitutes, people. So I could use that, a simple WID as well. And that's not even a code. That's just an acronym. That's, an abbreviate, whatever, right? What are you doing? But I'm going to Google in front of the court and show, the social media definition of why WYD means what you doing. And then based on why you're sitting there, I'm going to start to put that into everything else. Fuck with me if y'all want. Fuck with me if y'all want. I'm telling you. And there's people that do that shit for a living, is my whole point. I know we're laughing, but there's people that do that shit for a fucking living.
Police now say Spence made that call from a 911 only phone, and it was a lie. When officers got to the home, they say the two men ran out the back door.
Actual lyrics.
One of those men was rapper Young Scooter, whose real name is Kenneth Bailey. Police say Bailey injured himself jumping over a fence, and today the medical examiner ruled Bailey died from a penetrating injury to his right thigh. They say that his death was accidental. APD has stressed that social media posts claim Bailey was shot by officers. Well, that's false. The department has insisted no officers fired their weapons at the scene. Demetria Spence is now charged with transmitting a false public alarm. She's being held in the Fulton County Jail. Meantime, APD has not provided a motive for that call. But in the aftermath of what happened after that call was placed, someone wound up losing their life.
And that's the problem. That's the big problem in the aftermath. Shout out to KX. Why not? Appreciate you for the super homie salute back to you as well. That's the thing. In the midst of all this, somebody lost their life. Okay. Now, the motive behind this is what we're gonna hear in the upcoming, right? She's gonna be charged if she hasn't already. Yeah, you have to be charged with something to be arrested, right? Yeah. So whatever she's all her charges, and she'll be interrogated. She doesn't seem like somebody that's or in a situation where it's just like, hush, get my lawyers. No, the same way she went live from the pressure of the internet to try to defend herself and paint a picture and tell her A and B story that she said yesterday is the same way she's going to try to explain her excuses to the fucking investigators, right? She's going to sit in that box and she's going to explain to them once again, just like she did live. I did this, I said this, he did that, this is what happened, I was here that night. And they're also going to use that moment, and they're going to try to even piece together facts. Okay, where were you? Do you have any proof of that? What's going on? Do you have any text messages? Can you show me the argument? You said that you were hurt. You were getting abused. Do you have any marks of that? Any pictures? Phone call record? They're gonna go through all of this shit, and the motive is going to be established. And I think what a lot of people are already looking towards is the motive is gonna look like some jealous woman that used 911 to send some people over to the crib to disrupt whatever. Maybe in there with a chick. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you ain't fucking on me, nigga. Send the cops over there. Whatever it is. I mean, you fucked up. You called and said there's a baby there. There's 7 guys walking around with their guns in the air. He beat some woman bloody. She's naked. He threw her outside. He dragged her back. I think they're running drugs in there. I think there's sex trafficking there. Kid involved. You did all of that. But now you go live and say, oh, I did it because I was. It's too late. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. As far as your credibility is fucked. Your defense is legally is fucked. You know what I'm saying? But as far as actual charges, or what she could be facing, I took a look at this as well, and she could end up with something light. I don't know her back record, but 2024 Code of Georgia, Title 16, Crimes and Offenses, Chapter 10, Offenses against Public Administration and related offenses, transmitting a false public alarm. So we just heard that in the news report. Transmitting a public false alarm. Okay. I.e. 911 shit. As used in code section, the term critical infrastructure means any building, place, assembly, or facility that is located in the state and necessary for national or public security, education, or public safety. Destructive device, I don't need that. Dwelling, should have the same, I don't need that. Hazardous substance, I don't need that. Public agency means the state and any city, county, municipal corporation, chartered organization, public district, I don't need that. Request for emergency services assistance, number 7. Okay. Means a report, transmission, or request for assistance made to a public safety agency through a public safety answering point or other form of communication or report, statement, or request for assistance knowingly made to another person that is likely to result in the recipient making a report, transmission, or request for assistance from a public safety agency through a public safety answering point or other form of communication. Sounds like a 911 call to me. B, a person commits the offense of making an unlawful request for emergency services assistance when he or she knowingly and intentionally transmits in any manner a request for emergency services assistance, knowing at the time of the request for emergency services assistance that there is no reasonable ground for believing the truth or of information which forms the basis of such request. So all that shit that she said is 1000% aligned with this law. The kids, the 7 people with guns, the sex trafficking, the woman bloody, bleeding profusely, thrown outside, beating, pulled back to the door, dragged. Well, it's that. That's what she just wrote. Let's get down to some of the shit that she's facing. Except as provided in subsection D of this code section, a person convicted of a violation of subsection B of this code section shall be punished as follows. Upon first conviction, if this is the first time she did it, a misdemeanor of a high and aggravated nature. That's for the call. 2, upon second conviction, felony punished by imprisonment for not less than 5 or more than 10. So 5 to 10 and a $5,000 fine. And number 3, upon the third time you've done that shit, if you were convicted, it's a felony once again, punished by imprisonment for not less than 10 years. So you're going to get 10 to 15. and a 25,000. So if this is the first time she's done this, she falls into this is not a felony. It's a misdemeanor, right? But I'm not a lawyer. We got some lawyers that be in our chat. Drop a comment or drop me a DM, maybe DW or you know, some of the lawyers I know that watch our streams. Shout out to my man Creech. Somebody, you know, some of our lawyers that tap in with RBE or tap in with Sorry It's True. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a text, man. Let me know, because my natural instincts tell me what I just read is in pure relation to falsifying that 911 call. I believe that I need assistance for A, even though I know A isn't actually happening. Okay. But a life was lost. So I can see additional, I don't know. Like there's laws around like indirect cause of death, right? I mean, you could send a hit, right? Like I didn't pull the trigger, but I'm still blaming you, Gotti. Like, right? I put the ticket on somebody's head. Right? You see what I'm saying? So, indirect cause of death. And here's the last reason why I'm going to say this girl is going to get slapped with whatever they could slap her with. It's higher profile. And I know that every single human being on this earth deserves the same type of justice when they're in the right. Everybody. But that's just not reality. Okay. You do something to me, you're going to face this level of retribution legally. You know, it might have a little bit of profile. A lot of people might talk about something happening to me. So you never know how much tweets and talk but if you do something to Jay-Z, it's world news. The police departments obviously react differently based on who's involved. Oh shit, unless it's like the murder of Tupac, right? But it's different. Oh, this happened in the Gold Coast. We need convictions. Go get me whoever shot up FBG Duck. If this would have happened in O Block, less resources get applied, less headlines. The police departments directly work with the media outlets and the newspapers. Go watch season 5 of The Wire. Right? So this is more higher profile. You know, when you got people like Young Thug tweeting that the police are involved and they shot Young Scooter, or you got Future who might be tweeting, and these are public and they got their fan bases. So you think in a profile situation like that, this girl is going to just walk away with just the misdemeanor for the breaking of that type of code for the phone call? I don't know. I think whatever books they can throw at her, they will. And a man lost his life behind a lying call. You self-admitted that the call was a lie. So because the life was lost, I personally don't got no fucking sympathy for her. I don't got no sympathy for her because that could have been any of us. So if they throw the book at her behind what she did, that's what she earned herself. Let me stop there before I get frustrated. Let's do some extortion real quick. You know, it sounds crazy to say that, right?
Right. So how you know? You probably don't remember this year. I'm gonna give you a Big U story. I was in Vegas, and one of your little homies from the '60s that got out of pocket, and he didn't know who I was, and I called you on the phone, and you got on the phone with him. But then the next day, I just happened just to be calling you. Then me and him, from that day, me and him, we've been tight.
Right. I mean, you know, it's just really about respect, though, because sometimes, because me, I'm big on respect. I'm big on respecting anybody, and it ain't really a lot about, because I don't charge niggas nothing. I don't ask people for nothing. I'm gonna be, because I look at it to build bridges. Like, I might be in your city.
Why does the word charge even come up? I don't charge. You're not even supposed to be in a position to charge somebody simply because of where they're standing, right? I mean, if they're on your property, I mean, like your lawn, like literally the property that you own, but like that whole street that you govern, it's not your street. It's not your neighborhood. It's not your city, technically. forcefully on some hood politics shit, okay, cool. But you already see where that can get you, right? Exactly where it's sitting right now. So what do you mean when you say the word, I don't even charge? You're not supposed to be able to charge. What do you think? This is a fucking entry into an amusement park? He's saying this shit in front of Shaq. I don't even charge. That's crazy. I'll let you come around for free. That's crazy. That's fucking insane. It gets worse though.
And be at your behest. So I don't even remember the incident all the way. I just know we always call each other. I can call Shaq, I can call you. If I'm in Atlanta, I can call you. You know what I mean? And the thing is, he trusts me with his sons, and you trust me with your son. You know what I mean? You call me immediately. My son moving around. My son want to meet you. I called your son this morning to try to get your number. And that's what people don't understand. It's not even about checking in. It's about, of course, when you build that relationship and you build that bond across states and cities. I can call Trick from anywhere. I can call Trick, Demi, Deb, and tell him.
He happens to be naming all people that have stood on the side of checking in or no fly, like i.e. Trick when he did the whole breakdown of the no fly zone anymore in Detroit. Those are the people that Big U names right here. Good job. Good job.
My sons is coming to your cities now. My son is going to be out there. And that's what's important, man. You know?
Because that's, that's how the politics, because Shaq heart is so big.
Mm-hmm.
So when the NBA players would come to LA and some rappers, they would get booked.
Yeah.
So why don't y'all ask me again? Hey, ARP, the code, what does get booked mean? Oh, you throw a book out. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what? Who don't know slang, the way we talk, the way we're raised? What does it mean to get booked? Got his jewels booked. The guy's chain booked. The guy's shit booked. What is it booked? The NBA players would come to town. They would get booked. What does that mean? Oh, no. Booked for a walkthrough. When the NBA players would come to town, they would get booked. They're not performers. Off the court. What do you mean? That's, I guess, the road that the lawyer got to go. Booked for club appearances, right? Don't talk to me like I'm a fucking idiot. When these NBA players would come to town, they would get booked. And once again, he's saying this shit in front of Shaq. That's crazy.
And he would get on the phone to get their shit back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you at?
Oh, too late. I should have let it play for another 3 seconds. So now that excuse from the lawyer is taken off the table. Oh, booked. When he said booked there, he meant that it was like a club appearance. He said make calls to now get their shit back. To get your club back? Like, what do you like? It's incredible. It's incredible extortion talk right here on the internet for everybody to see.
Who took it? And then that's when you got to pick up the line. Del Dog, Big U, Wacko,
Slam.
Oh, yeah.
Took it.
Hey, let him
might have
talk,
took it.
man.
Don't call that person. He might have took it.
Let him out the trunk and give him his stuff back.
Straight up from the table, man.
Look, Shaq's in one of them spots where you just got to laugh that off with everybody. Let's just laugh about this because we know it's true. And then Shaq says, strike that from the tape, laughingly. Shaq knows. Shaq knows. He's too high profile. He's too in the mix. He knows too many people. It's the NBA. You know how many people Shaq then probably gave advice? Hey, man, heads up. You go over here, you go over there, this person, that person. It's Shaq. Everybody knows Shaq. Everybody wants to get next to Shaq. Big U, obviously, is one of the people that was able to get next to Shaq. You know what I'm saying? So, but speaking of those phone calls, this is, once again, it's all out there. And I don't know how you just retracts as if everybody on the internet is talking but him. He's said a lot himself as well.
The youngsters get out and then they have to have an experience before they realize I should have checked in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or I should have called, or I should have been moving a certain way. And so they get out and they might be under your banner, but then they not respecting the banner. They ain't calling you.
Hey, Jay, since you threw that one at me earlier, what's the banner? What's the banner? It's like the sign of like the store opening, with the name of the store. That's what he means by the banner, right? What's the banner? Okay. It starts with a number 6, I'll tell you that.
They got your number. They know who you is, but they feel like they bigger than the program. You know, you got a lot of dudes like
bigger than a program is also something that we've heard forever. Some people even tie that to allegedly Nipsey Hussle dying. Bigger than the program. So the same way I asked you, what's the banner? I then will ask you, what's the program? Okay. All right.
Like when I was here last time, they claim my neighborhood to send this music, but they don't really with us until it's a problem. Then they call them. Like Quando Rondo. I just showed Envy. Like, you can't call me now. You can't call me when the fire hot. You didn't fuck with me before that. You know what I mean? You had my number. You could have called me. You could have did all that. You know what I mean? But he was around about. But how is that fair to me? How is that fair to our team, though? You know what I mean? The youngsters get out.
And so when more comes out on Brick, don't be surprised, people. I don't think y'all would. If that tie-in is clearly stated in paperwork of Brick Baby with his link and his friendship to Lil Durk being that bridge of Quando and Big U is clearly here saying ain't no protection, ain't no safety, ain't no link with me or with us over here because you never tapped in or did nothing for the hood or dropped off a bag or nothing. I know you claim our shit, this banner. I know you under this banner, but you didn't do nothing over here. You didn't do nothing for us. You didn't tap in. You didn't check in. So you food. I.e., don't call me when the fire is hot. I.e., there's money on your head and all this shit behind King Von from the Lil Tim shooting. So all these links is just like right there. Like, what investigator ain't going after that? The U, the Durk, and both of them is down right now. Durk and Big, it's like they and Brick. Like, they're gonna put it all together. And Quando just happens to be in jail too on something that's nothing related like this. But all of them are in jail right now. Quando's except Lil Tim is out. You know what I'm saying? But Quando's in jail right now. Big U's in jail right now. Lil Durk's in jail right now. And while they got y'all asses, they're gonna squeeze all this shit and try to put all these dots together. If it ends up in Durk shit too, if Big U ends up in Durk shit, don't be shocked. If Brick ends up in Durk's case, don't be shocked. If Durk ends up in Brick's case, and every which way. And you don't think these authorities are now working together? Hey, what you got? Hey, what you exchanging information? They do it all the time. Isn't that how they collaborated and even picked up Durk before he caught his flight in the first place? It'd be like collaboration efforts and shit. And then you see them take the podium. Shout out to our peoples in New York and St. Louis that helped us with this investigation, all this type of shit. You don't think that the people working the Big U case, the Lil Durk case, and the Brick Baby case, they're not all collaborating, I guess, right? Nobody's making any phone calls or sending any emails to each other. Hey, I got this. Oh, here's a piece to the puzzle that you didn't have in your shit. Oh, good looking. Here's something I found out. I just did an investigation with a rat yesterday. Guess what he just said about Quando? But here you go. What? Leave them streets alone, people. Leave them the fuck alone. I was gonna bring up Whack. I'll save this video for another time because he's just snapping on something that's not related. I like sometimes when these streams can stay fluid, you know. So, all right, fun stream today, y'all. What are we at? Almost an hour and 15 minutes. I appreciate y'all as always. We'll see if we make it back again once again this afternoon. But you know how it goes during the week. If we don't, 6 a.m. the next day. So. Let me know. Drop in the comments. I'm not going to put a voting poll up. Drop in the comments your favorite topic from today's stream. If you can, about an hour, less than an hour, hopefully, I'll have the chapters done for y'all so that anybody that wants to replay, go skip to something again or whatever the case may be, or even for the new watches, I'm going to have the chapters. Or if you missed a piece of the stream, if you came on later, right, give me some time. When the lives are done, I'm always going to get the chapters in there for y'all so y'all can skip around, okay? Because as long as these streams are, I get it. Y'all don't know where some of these topics are, where some of these people are from the title or the thumbnails. And there's also people that's in the streams that's not in the titles and the thumbnails. So I want to keep educating the viewers as to what we're doing over here, because I know we got new viewers that come around, people that come across their table randomly, or whether you're somebody that's already subscribed or already part of the movement over here and you still don't understand some of the stuff that we're trying to do, you know, because I'm making changes constantly as well, building brick by brick, right? Just like RBE, we're gonna do it all over again.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.